Okay, I can see it all live. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys, for joining us this morning. Hello, Gabriel. Hello, David. Hello, Anna. Hello, Marie Patrice, and hello, Charles Arnaud.
Hi.
Okay. So I guess we'll have to start. I introduced everybody yesterday, except for Marie Patrice. She's the only one adding today. Please raise your hand, Marie Patrice, so everybody can see you. She's joining us from Ghana.
Hi.
Okay,
Hi.
so we're starting. Thanks all for attending this webinar. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Hervé Seri, CEO of Africa Steed Holdings and KOAFF. Special thank you to our guest speakers, Mr. David Morin and Mrs. Anna Bungalow, for accepting to share with us the views on the topics. Also, special thank you to our host, Charles Arnaud, joining us from London. Thank you guys for accepting to do that for us. So I'm going to talk about our company quickly. Africa Steed Holdings, it's a main company. It's actually an African online services company operating mainly in African film and entertainment industry. So we're based in Cape Town in South Africa. KOAFF is part of Africa Steed Holdings, and it's an online streaming platform that intends to offer our subscribers access to a wide range of exclusively African content. It can be films, TV shows, documentaries, animations, short movies, and more. Everybody can enjoy KOAFF services from all internet connected devices, and they're all free of advertisement. So the current festival that we're having, which is KOAFF Online African Film Festival, it's our first online festival, and it's going to be part of many activities of Africa Steed Holdings and KOAFF as well, which will also host master classes, on a regular basis. Okay, So quickly, the general rules for such webinar, it shouldn't take actually more than an hour, hopefully. And we kindly request you guys to, if you in a noisy space, to please mute yourself, especially when you're not talking, so you cannot disturb others. And please remember to say your name before you speak, so everybody can see. And let's not just avoid cutting off when somebody is talking, so you can all give our full input. And there's, I don't know if you noticed, but the audience will also see there's a private chat on the live stream. So anyone from the audience can use it to chat privately during the stream. Okay, so I think I covered for now all my basics. Thank you, and I'll pass the online microphone over to you, Charles, our host. Thank you.
Thank you, Hervé. Thank you all. I mean, today is a very, very interesting and important topic that we are trying to address. We are trying to look at the film industry in Africa overall, and really understand what are the key drivers, and what really someone which has a project, where can he look at for funding, and how will this work. So for that topic, I have two guests that are quite senior in the different fields. They know really well the African markets in terms of films, and I would like to introduce them. I will start by the lady first, Mrs. Anna, which is the head of distribution of radio television, RTI. It's the television, national TV in Ivory Coast. So Anna will share a perspective around the distribution of content in the context of someone operating in the region. What are the challenges he's facing? And our second guest is Mr. David Morin. He's the CEO and founder of Bungalow 4 Production. So David is quite senior in his field. I've been around and producing film in Africa and around the world. So he gives us a perspective with all the projects that he's been involved too. And I hope this has been quite an interactive session. So if you guys have questions and things that you want to ask to our speakers, feel free. So we'll definitely start with David, which will give us an overview of his experience. And so if anyone has a question, you can just write the question, and then after that we move to Anna, where it's gonna be more me asking a question and trying to dig around a bit on the experience. So yes, without any taking more time, I will leave the floor to David and to start its presentation.
Thank you very much, Charles, and thank you, KOAFF, for inviting me to be a guest speaker. I'm very honored. I have to confess, as far as the business side of filmmaking, I'm probably not the biggest success story. I've lost a lot of money making films. Most of us probably have, and it sort of begs the question. I think Andy Warhol once said, if you make art and you can't sell it, are you really an artist? And if we make films that nobody wants, are we really valid filmmakers? For me, and coming from America, because the first movie I made, I'm from LA and based in LA, and I had such a issue trying to make money that when I went to the IRS for my taxes, and I had all these expenses for cameras and edit bays and software and hardware, and the IRS said, "Well, this is a hobby. You're not allowed to have a deduction. You're not in business. This is a hobby." So I was like, "Ouch!" Right? I mean, so the reality is, how do we do what we love, and how do we be successful at it? So let me come at it two ways. I'll start with the old school way, and the old school way was you raised money from investors, unless you're rich. If you're rich, then go ahead, you can fund your own. but you're not listening to this webinar if you're rich, that rich. So the old way is to like, you go to all of your friends, and I made a movie, an independent feature, whodunit thriller called Cold Play, 2 words, Cold Play. And it was like a murder mystery, you know, love triangle kind of a thing. And so we went to all of our family and friends and basically said, look, we're raising money and you get a slice of the pie, and the pie slices are either $5,000 or $10,000. They're basically, each slice was $5,000. So you could buy as many slices as you want. But, you know, the hard part about raising money for films is that you have to tell people, look, you're probably never going to see your money back. There's never going to be a return. Consider it a bad night in Vegas, and you're willing to gamble it away, because you really do need to be upfront. You can't promise people they're going to get their money back. That's unethical. So you have to be upfront. And we were upfront. We said, look, we want to make this movie, and we raised about $220,000. And we made what we called an ultra low budget union film, a Screen Actors Guild union film in America. So in the old way was sort of like you raised money, and then the thinking was, if we make a great film and we all know we're going to make like that ace film, and then we're going to go and we're going to festival it, and we're going to get into Sundance or Tribeca or Toronto or Venice, or we're going to get in one of these big festivals, and we made it for $225,000, and somebody's going to say, look, we love your movie, here's $2 million, and you walk away and we'll take it from here. And we go, great, fantastic, and we just made a lot of money, and the investors get paid back and everybody's happy. Okay, but that model, I think that model is a dead model, because now that the cinemas with COVID, now there is no cinema, there is no theater. Yeah. What do we do with our content? You know, now what do we do with it? Let me just finish the Coldplay story. So we spent $220,000 and we lost $220,000. And then it sat on my hard drive for 13 years.
Oh, wow.
Along the way, we had what we call a producer's rep come to us and say, hey, look, I can get you a distributor, but you need to pay us $10,000 to find you a distributor. Okay, well, what are my options? I don't have a distributor. I want a distributor. I need a distributor. Okay, here's $10,000. I hope you get me a distributor. So he did get us a distributor called Vanguard Films, and Vanguard actually got us on Netflix. But this was back in the day for Netflix, when they mailed out DVDs, then you returned the DVDs, and it was like, it wasn't a streaming platform at all. So we left Vanguard to go with a better guy on the East Coast, and then he never responded whatsoever. So Coldplay was just dead on arrival. It was dead. So now during the COVID lockdown, I'm so bloody bored, and I'm like going, okay, I know I've got something here. What can I do with it? And then someone was talking about Amazon Prime, and you can upload it yourself, and they pay streaming per minute. And so I did my research, and I got the specs. And in the meantime, there was another film company called Turnkey Films, and they approached me, and they wanted Coldplay. And then I made a wildlife documentary, feature length, and I made also a documentary on the Cape Town Youth Choir called Finding Messiah. So I had 3 features. He wanted all my films, and he was going to put them up on these various platforms. But after a year, he hadn't done anything, and so I just went, screw it, I'm going to do it myself. I uploaded all of them onto Amazon Prime. So in mid-September, Coldplay went from collecting dust on the pixels in my hard drive, and we started on Amazon. In 1 month, we went from streaming 500 minutes a day on Coldplay to 200,000 minutes a day.
Oh, wow.
For Coldplay. And that was for USA and for UK. So what does that mean? Well, if we were to do 200,000 minutes a day, every day for a month, that would be 6 million minutes streamed. And then Amazon pays 4 cents per hour streamed. So basically, I could be making $4,000 a month if Coldplay was to keep going 200,000 minutes a day. Sadly, with the election and COVID and American football and Thanksgiving and Christmas and travel and Now we're doing 2,000 minutes a day. So we just like, boom. But I think it's going to be like a cyclical thing. You know, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. Now my documentaries, nobody cares. You know, you have to have the right genre if you're going to do it yourself on Amazon Prime. I also made a cooking show pilot. I uploaded that. I've made about six short films. I've uploaded them. So is it worth it? Well, I think people agree that Amazon Prime probably pays the best for a self-loading, do-it-yourself kind of a thing. You have to have Apple ProRes 422 HQ, and you have to have certain key art requirements. It's not that difficult, and you need subtitles. And so, yeah, there's a great website where you can get your subtitles done, and you just send them a URL and they send the subtitles. So anyways, I figured it all out. And Coldplay, it's up and down. And will it ever make $200,000 back? No, never. But is it fun that after 13 years, like to date, we've had 4 million minutes streamed? I mean, that's a lot of people watching my movie.
Yeah.
But is it paying my rent? No. So how do we pay our rent? You know, I don't know. I mean, I can't wait for Anna to speak because she's in the distribution business. I'm in the content making business. But I, you know, the old school way was like, I'm going to make the best movie I can for little money. I'm going to go to a festival and I'm going to sell it. And then I'm going to make my next one and I'm going to go to a festival and I'm going to sell it. It's hard to get into a festival. It's really hard.
It's really hard.
I mean, I made a documentary on the Cape Town Youth Choir called Finding Messiah, following 3 Black African singers that are singing Handel's Messiah, this, you know, operetta. And I couldn't even get into the Durban Film Festival. And it's 90 minutes of Black Africans singing high art, and I can't get into the Durban Film Festival. Like, it's hard. So now I just made a short film that was an official selection somewhere. And I'm like, okay, gosh, maybe I know how to do my craft after all. But this whole idea of, you know, how do we make business? You know, there's all these new platforms. There's lots of streaming platforms. There's Hulu. There's Netflix. There's Amazon Prime. I think YouTube has like its own paying style. Google has its own paying platform. You know, more than ever, there's lots of paying platforms if you can stream. But the bottom line is, like, you make a movie and nobody knows it exists. You know, good luck with that. That's why in the studio system, they buy a film and then they're going to spend $10 million, $20 million on what they call P&A, prints and advertising. So Tom Cruise makes Mission Impossible. Well, nobody knows it's out there until they drop 50 million in advertising, and everybody goes on opening day. Well, my film, the only advertising I'm getting is that on Amazon Prime, if you watch this studio film, A Perfect Murder, you might also like Coldplay. Bingo, click, everybody's bored, everybody's locked down. They're going to watch it. I'm lucky. I had the right genre. I was very lucky. But let me just wrap this up because I know I'm running out of time. So anyway, so all of these streaming platforms, there's lots out there, but you know, you still have to make content, and you don't really have an effective way of advertising on those platforms, more or less. You just have to hope that someone's going to refer you that watch something else. But let's get back to how do we raise money to make a movie. And I just sent Hervé this morning. I must have found easily like a dozen links on funding and grants for Africa filmmakers. Okay. Germany's very big on financing the arts in Africa. Hervé, you can post that on your kukastream.com, perhaps, all the links that I sent. Like there's a one fund for South Africa. It's 90 million rand sitting in this film fund for filmmakers. I mean, there's you know, it seems like the UN and like USAID, and there's a lot of these international aid foundations, a lot of NGOs in the States. They want to fund African filmmakers. Okay, so does your movie have to be about social justice? Maybe, you know, I don't know, but do your research. Just look under funding and for grants. Okay, because by both of those, I think they're scot-free. Maybe Anna knows better, but I think if you get a grant, it's like a free $10,000 check or a $50,000 check or whatever it is. Then you can make your art and then you can stream it. And if you make money back, fantastic. But if you don't, then you're not out of money. Like I probably lost $100,000 on Coldplay, and I've never made another movie since then because I don't have that kind of money to throw around.
Yeah.
Like I lost it all. So it's really fun to see it doing something on Amazon Prime. But my friends in the States, okay, my American buddies that are really good filmmakers, you know what they are? They're good salespeople. They know how to hustle. They put together an executive summary and blah, 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 blah. We're going to make this movie, and here's the comparison. It's like this movie, and it's like this movie, and those movies made a ton of money, and our movie. It's like I'm not a sales guy, you know. I'm a big personality, but like I'm not a city slicker. Like I'm not good at I don't know. I'm pretty transparent. Look, we want to do this. Here's the script. If you like it, I could use 10,000, 20,000, 40,000. But I think what I'm trying to say is, and this is why I'm not a good filmmaker, I'm not a good salesman. If you want to make movies over and over, you can get your funding from funds and from grants. And if you can do that and you're in Africa, I think those are available. Do your research and you can qualify. But if you don't qualify for those and you need to raise money, you know, you got to be a good salesman. That's how you keep going from movie to movie to movie. Whether they do any business or not, you find new people. So anyway, I've talked too much. Charles, back to you. If anyone has a question, that's fine. And Anna, I look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, no, thank you, David. I mean, I've learned a lot from you. Very interesting, especially on your experience. I think myself, without the public, probably ask you questions because the reality, you mentioned something very interesting. You said in your first experience, you spent $220,000. That's been all funding, love money, family money, etc., and you still haven't recovered this. So on that perspective, I wanted to ask you, okay, what do you recommend to like the filmmakers now? Because at least you have to budget it. At some point, you know, you do your budget, etc., and you have all this. So the question is, at what time do you decide your go, no go decision? You know, is it sort of a gambling, or you're like, okay, I trust my project, so I'll do it for it anyway?
Yeah, you know, I think on my side, it really, as a filmmaker, I think you have to be willing to make compromises. So you know what? Maybe you don't get to shoot it in 6K. Maybe you don't get to shoot it on the latest red or an Arri, you know, mini, you know, whatever. It's like you can shoot it on your phone. You know what I mean? I mean, there's like a lot of economical ways to make a feature film. Now, do people want it maybe on 4K at the end of the day? If they're streaming, not really. 4K is great for a 40-foot screen. So I think as filmmakers, we're like, no, we're artistes, and it must be like the top quality, and I must have 20 people on my crew, and I have to have it like this much money, or I can't make it. You can probably do most of it yourself except sound. I always get a sound guy because audio is half a video, and you don't want bad sound. But the rest of it, you know, I can kind of do myself, and you don't need the latest gear, you know. Let me just add one more thing to that, Charles. I've made a lot of short films, and people make short films all the time. And my theory is if I want to make a short film, I have to do it on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then that's it. You can't expect your crew to work longer than that. If you ask your crew to work Monday, now they want a paycheck. Okay. If I feed them Friday, Saturday, Sunday, people are willing to donate a weekend to make a movie. But, you know, after that, and it's the same with features, you know, you have to pay people something, you know, otherwise you're going to have a disgruntled crew on your hands, and that's no good. You have to feed them. It's like the main thing, you got to feed them.
Very, very interesting. Thank you, David. Thank you. And if someone has questions in the crowd, otherwise I will end it over to Anna. But before that, David, I wanted to know. So now, from your perspective, with your 20 or 30 years plus of experience in the industry, do you think that was a great idea to being involved in this? I know it was your passion, but yeah, what is your perspective now?
I wouldn't do anything different. I wouldn't do anything different. It was because co-directing Coldplay. So I co-wrote it, I co-directed, I co-starred, I co-produced. You know, I did everything, and then I co-funded. But that movie led to the next movie that I directed, which was for a company called Pureflix, and that was a feature film, like a family drama. And if I hadn't directed and made Coldplay, then I wouldn't have been able to make the next one. So my dad always used to say, invest in yourself. It's the best investment that there is. So, you know, I spent some of his money investing in my own film, and any regrets? Well, I wish it would have done better, but no regrets in making it, and no regrets for my life path. None whatsoever.
Yeah, thank you. Great. Thank you, David. I'm waiting for a question to David, but in the meantime, we'll probably collect the questions and come back to you, David. Now I'll come to my second host, Anna Bello. We're gonna do it in a French English way. So Anna will speak in French. If she wants, you can speak in English, and I'll try and translate to the audience. And yes, so Anna, up to you to present yourself and tell us more about your career journey.
Thank you, Arnaud. I'm not very comfortable in English, so I want to do the intervention in French because I think what I want to talk about is very important, and the audience have the audience must have many information. Merci beaucoup. Je ne sais pas comment on va procéder méthodiquement, parce que pour ceux, peut-être.
Juste au fur et à mesure, je pense.
D'accord, ok, au fur et à mesure. Et merci à David, quand il parlait, je me suis vue il y a encore 20 ans, et je me vois encore aujourd'hui quand il dit qu'il ne regrette rien, c'est vrai, je ne regrette rien non plus. C'est un métier passionnant, faire des films, raconter des histoires, faire rêver les gens, être leur porte-parole, c'est important. C'est un métier qui doit exister. C'est vrai qu'il a toujours existé sous la forme de hobby, mais qui est devenu en plus du business.
Yeah, Doctor, I would like to thank you, everyone, to get the opportunity to attend this live show. I'm going to do it in French. And so I've heard about David's experience. So I saw myself in his story 20 years ago, and I think like I have no regret whatsoever about my journey. I think it's a great industry, you know, to make people dream, to tell stories, and yes.
Ok. J'ai démarré, je suis réalisatrice et productrice par défaut. J'ai démarré, comme le disait David, j'ai fait pas mal de choses, surtout de films pour des clients, de films institutionnels. J'ai même produit des short films qui s'intitulait On est où là, qui a pas mal cartonné sur le digital. Et ensuite, j'ai commencé à m'intéresser à des projets qui ont avancé et qui malheureusement n'ont pas pu aboutir. Mais j'avoue que je récolte une grande joie de mes échecs aujourd'hui parce que ça me permet d'être là où je suis.
Donc I had quite an extensive career in terms of the film industry. I've been a producer. I've also made some short films. I recently made like sort of a short documentary that was broadcast online now because called Oneula. That's been quite successful. But so far so good. I also had some of the experience that was not that great, but that's allowed me to be who I am now because you know, that was some of the failure I had. But today it made me the person I have with all the, you know, the world background and all the experience.
Ok. Et tout à l'heure, David m'interpellait sur la distribution, justement, comment on gagne de l'argent. C'est mon expérience chez un diffuseur aujourd'hui qui m'ont permis de mieux comprendre ce métier et les attentes en fait du public. C'est un marché qui évolue très vite.
It's my experience today with RTE that allows me to understand, and because when David mentioned how do you distribute your movie, how do you make money, but it's a very evolving quickly business. So you have to really connect what the public wants with whatever it's available because the audience is always changing. Yeah.
Yes. En tant que responsable de la distribution, je me suis et de la coproduction également parce que nous ne faisons pas que récupérer du contenu que nous distribuons. Nous coproduisons également pour être sûr que là où on met l'argent, on sera en mesure d'avoir un retour sur investissement pour ceux qui nous apportent les projets ou bien pour nous-mêmes. Donc, on reçoit des projets. Vas-y.
I mean, we not only distribute, we also produce. Meaning, sort of we co-produce the project to make sure that the project that we selected and we invest in are really fitting with our audience, so that we're sure that we make return on this sort of investments.
Donc, comme je dirais, l'intérêt au niveau de Air Télévision, c'est qu'on produit d'abord pour nos chaînes, pour notre marché. Donc, il y a un premier client qui est là déjà. C'est pas comme David qui est indépendant et qui doit aller chez sa clientèle. On produit pour notre marché d'abord, pour nos chaînes, et ensuite on les distribue. Donc, il y a un premier niveau d'amortissement qui est là. Mais même ce niveau d'amortissement doit tenir compte de la tendance, doit tenir compte de la demande en général. Que le réalisateur ou le producteur indépendant, en général, fait, il a envie de faire un film. C'est la question que vous avez posée à David tout à l'heure en demandant qu'est-ce qui le décide à faire un film. Mais en général, quand on est indépendant, on a entendu une histoire, on a vu, c'est à l'émotion qu'on fonctionne. On ne tient pas compte de toute cette donnée big qu'il y a autour. Alors que c'est nécessaire quelquefois d'en tenir compte. C'est pour ça qu'une équipe de production, c'est vrai, il y a créatif, mais il y a tout doit pouvoir réfléchir autour pour savoir comment est-ce qu'on mobilise l'argent, comment est-ce qu'on gagne de l'argent avec une telle idée.
No, it's because in my current role, we have first of all, the production we made is for our own channel first. This is like the first layer of amortizement of our costs, and then we also like sell outside. So I mean, even for our channels, we try and make sure that the things that we produce are relevant for the people we have. So in comparison to an independent producer like David, for example, which tend to create a movie because probably they have an idea or they have a gut feel around something, we use a lot of market data and market intelligence to make sure that, and there's a whole business team behind us to make sure that we sort of stay relevant all the time,
Donc, effectivement, il a expliqué qu'il y a différentes façons d'aller mon argent, mais d'environnement que nous connaissons, surtout nous, l'environnement francophone aujourd'hui, on a d'abord du préachat. Vous avez une idée, un projet, vous allez voir d'abord nos chaînes, et puis ensuite d'autres chaînes, on travaille mal avec TV5 Monde, Canal+, Arte, ainsi de suite. On leur présente le projet. Si ça reste, ça veut dire qu'il faudra mettre le niveau de moyens qui permettent d'être aux normes pour diffuser chez eux. Ce n'est pas sur tous les projets qu'on décide de mettre plein d'argent. C'est pour ça que je disais, il y a des études préalables qu'il faut faire, mais ce n'est pas aux créatifs de le faire. C'est celui qui veut gagner de l'argent, le producteur, de le faire et d'en tenir compte. Donc, il y a ce premier niveau de pre-sales, comme on dit, aux diffuseurs, aux distributeurs, aux télévisions ou bien même aux salles de cinéma ou aux plateformes VOD qui peuvent pre-sales, qui peuvent préacheter par rapport. Ensuite, il y a la cote-part des grandes comédies. Les grandes, ça ne va pas très loin. Les subventions qu'on va mobiliser ne vont pas très loin, mais au moins, ça permet de sécuriser, de prendre moins de risques sur le développement. Et après, la troisième étape, c'est le minimum garanti que nous deux, par exemple, donnons pour mettre une option d'achat sur l'œuvre qui va être tournée pour être sûr qu'on aura la distribution de cette œuvre-là. Voilà un peu les trois niveaux. En fait, c'est pour suivre un peu son cheminement, pour poser un certain nombre de préoccupations. Nous, voici un peu comment nous mobilisons, comment nous mobilisons les films. On a l'achat. Ensuite, on a du grant, de la subvention, et après, on cherche du minimum garanti. On est distributeur, mais quelquefois, on fait appel à de plus gros distributeurs qui couvrent le monde. Voilà un peu comment nous fonctionnons.
So what we do, we have like 3 layers to sort of, mobilize, the funding in general. We have the pre-sale, where we sort of go out there to other channels that are also big with the project that we think are relevant. But we're gonna go and speak to them, especially in the francophone, francophone environment. You have TV5 Monde, Arte, Canal+, all the French channels, and the French speaking. And we go there, and if these guys are interested in this sort of project, we'll then mobilize the necessary fund and equipment for us to produce this, because for them to have this on the platform, it has to have a certain level of quality. Okay, so but in the meantime, they're also pre-sales, so they're also like locking some funding for this project. So that allows us to to sort of make sure that at least there's something going on this project. The second point is like everything which is grants and subventions. Grant and subvention helps, but they are not that much. But it also helps to sort of stabilize some of the costs. And finally, there's just some minimum guarantee. But because before we are sure that the project is actually going out there, we're gonna go to bigger distribution companies and make sure this project also interests them. So then we reach a level which is that sort of our our minimum level where we are comfortable to go out to the project. I think David has a question.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, as a filmmaker, one thing that you can do is as soon as you finish your screenplay, make the movie poster, all right? Because perception is reality. You hand somebody a script or you send somebody a PDF, it's not a movie. Now I send you the movie poster of the movie, even though it's all fake. It's like, oh, wow, that's a movie. It's like, yeah, here's the movie, here's the script. So the first thing I do when I finish a screenplay is I make a one sheet or I make a movie poster, and now it looks like a movie, and now people treat it like a movie instead of like just another screenplay. That's it.
Very, very, very relevant point. Very, very important point. You like you basically translate this into reality for people.
And it costs you nothing.
Yeah.
C'est pour ça que il y en a un qui décide de faire l'autre, mais je trouve que mettre de l'argent dans un pilote, c'est-à-dire sortir un pilote de 20 minutes ou 16 minutes, 13 minutes, c'est de l'argent. Généralement, on essaie de sortir un teaser, on essaie de sortir quelque chose qui présente effectivement qui montre un peu ce que sera le film. Mais on ne le poste pas immédiatement. C'est pour ça que je dis tout dépend de la stratégie. Nous, c'est vrai que aujourd'hui, les plateformes sont devenues un outil d'audience, de mesure d'audience, mais nous, on ne le poste pas immédiatement. On attend d'être abouti sur un certain nombre de points avant de le poster. Mais auprès d'une certaine clientèle, on a des teasers qui permettent de vendre.
Okay, so what we do is generally that's a good point. We do, in addition to the movie poster, we also generally, there's two ways. There's ever a pilot, but a pilot is like 10 to 20, 15 minutes. But this pilot is long, so sometimes you don't want to invest in the pilot unless you are sure. So what they do, they probably do a teaser, a small teaser that will go to some of the investors that will look at it and then make sure that's interesting. And then they don't post it right away, like out there, unless the movie the project is completely, well crafted. So it takes a bit of time. First of all, it's like a precise audience looking into it. Then after that, it may go out when the whole production is finished.
Ok. J'ai perdu un peu le fil de mes idées. Donc, je reviens pour dire un peu les différents niveaux de financement que nous avons. Et nous, comme j'ai dit, nous ne sommes pas du tout fait de la coproduction également. Produisons avec pas mal de pays, de chaînes de télévision également, et même de producteurs indépendants.
Right. We do a lot of co-production as well with other countries, with independent producers, and yeah, with a lot of relevant, professionals in the industry.
Ok, mais la préoccupation qu'il a posée, effectivement, c'est comment on gagne de l'argent parce que c'est ce que tout le monde attend aujourd'hui en se disant peut-être que j'ai la réponse. Je ne sais pas si on gagne encore de l'argent. Je ne sais pas si on gagne encore de l'argent parce que nous, dans le cas, par exemple, l'administration que je dirige, à chaque conseil d'administration, c'est rentabilité qu'on a. On demande à quel moment ça commence à devenir rentable, cette affaire?
Yeah, okay, so I'm saying people are always asking, like the subject of the day, at what time do we make money? And that's a question that I'm also asking myself, because we always have this recurrent question: at what time is our business becoming profitable, right? So we have always this question in the board meetings, and people are putting us on the spot. So we are trying to figure out. I think there are a few questions here from the audience. Marie-Patrice, that's a question. I don't know who is Marie-Patrice, but in the time,
yes,
yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have been saying that in Africa, because what we are talking about is the reality of filmmaking in Africa and how to make it profitable in Africa. And a lot of people have been saying that as filmmaking is concerned, TV is more relevant in Africa than cinemas. Okay, so people, filmmakers, it's better as filmmakers in TV series than in feature movies, because you end up having like a bigger platform, and people usually want to be able to grab the audience in such a way that they can come back and come back for. Is that something that you observation that self-made? What are your thoughts on that? This is my first question.
No, I don't know if you got the question.
Did you get that? Should I say it in French also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Depuis que l'observation qui a été faite, en tout cas qui m'a été faite à plusieurs reprises, c'est que pour l'Afrique, les séries télé, c'est-à-dire la télé, est plus rentable pour un cinéaste que les films, que les longs métrages. Parce que en termes de comparaison, la plateforme est plus puissante ou plus variée, offre plus d'opportunités que le cinéma. Donc en général, ils encouragent les cinéastes à faire des séries plus que des longs métrages, parce qu'au moins ça met que l'audience revienne pour la suite, la suite, et ça permet de faire. Est-ce que vous partagez les mêmes pensées, surtout parce que vous êtes dans le domaine de la distribution? Quelles sont vos observations?
D'accord. Marie-Paul, c'est une question de marché. Au Nigeria, par exemple, on vous dira la télé ne rapporte pas grand-chose au producteur. Au Nigeria, je veux dire, il y a tellement de chaînes de télévision, mais qui n'investissent pas vraiment dans de contenu. Par contre, les salles de cinéma, les DVD, les plateformes de streaming, les producteurs cartonnent à ce niveau, arrivent à gagner leur vie en faisant des films pour ces médias, pour ces circuits de diffusion.
Okay.
Arnaud, non, je voulais compléter, c'est peut-être permettre à Arnaud de.
No, just like Anna response to my question is like it's depending really on the market, because the question was the tendencies in Africa is like people are more keen to look at series versus like proper long film, because they feel like it's easier making more money. And then Anna was saying really depend on the market. For example, Nigeria, which is quite a developed market in terms of the film. There's producers are really like relying on distribution like platform, etc., which is different from other parts. So depending on the market, you have some specificities here. There's another question from David.
Juste pour dire un peu, Arnaud, pour dire que moi, en tant que distributeur, je signe les droits à un producteur, je prends la totalité des droits, c'est-à-dire pour respecter la chronologie des médias, la totalité des droits. Je prends les droits linéaires, non linéaires, VOD, SVOD, ainsi de suite, parce que le produit doit vivre sur toute la chaîne. Si c'est un produit cinéma, je commence au cinéma, je vais ensuite en télé et sur les plateformes. Si c'est un produit télé, ça dépend. Je peux commencer sur une plateforme, revenir en télé, ou commencer en télé et revenir sur la plateforme. Okay, je ne vais pas au cinéma avec de la télévision, mais c'est vrai que ce que Marie-Paul dit, les producteurs se sont dirigés vers le cinéma et la télévision. Est-ce qu'à un moment donné, en Afrique, on n'a plus eu de salle de cinéma? Côte d'Ivoire, au Burkina, au Mali, un peu partout, les salles de cinéma se sont transformées. Là, comme on dit, il n'y a plus de fréquentation des salles de cinéma. Donc, ça a fait que les gens se sont dit, ben, on produit du cinéma pour le diffuser où ça va être compliqué. Donc, c'est pour ça que tout le monde s'est rabattu sur la télé. Et la télé demande du volume. La télé a besoin de volume. Un seul film ne peut pas faire tenir une chaîne de télévision sur un trimestre. Ce n'est pas le même film qui va rediffuser. Donc, c'est pour ça que la série télé a commencé à avoir du succès.
So Anna added the point to saying, look, at some point there was a bit of a truth on what Marie was saying in terms of, you know, the film versus the TV, because at some point in Africa, all the movie theaters were sort of disappearing or changing into church or something different. So people were not really attending it. So now that's why most of the producers went straight into TV series, because, you know, they could have sell it, you know, to the TV. But now the reality is the TV as well needs to live. So that you need more and more of content. So that's why these dynamics have been working. I have another question from Anna, for Anna. David saying, how much money does Anna give to production every year? Combien d'argent est-ce que Anna donne à la production
chaque année, on a un budget autour de entre 500 et 600 millions de CFA. Ça fait à peu près $1 million, c'est ça? Combien? C'est pas à peu près $1 million, $1,5 million. C'est pas.
Yeah, so they put $1 to $1.5 million each year in the film movie. It sounds like not a lot, but
donc c'est pas les blockbusters, mais ça correspond.
That's incroyable, c'est magnifique, yeah, fantastic.
Ça correspond au marché, à ce que le marché peut absorber. Je vous donne un exemple. On est sur un projet en ce moment avec l'Afrique du Sud, pendant que nous, Ouest Africains, je dirais francophones et tout, on parle d'un projet à $1 million, un seul projet. Les Sud-Africains nous mettent sur la table qu'il faut qu'on puisse passer à $2,5 millions parce qu'ils ont le marché pour absorber. Moi, si je mets $2,5 millions dans une production, ben, quel est le marché qui va me l'absorber que je n'ai pas encore pu conquérir ou convaincre Netflix ou bien les grosses majors qui distribuent à l'extérieur de me prendre un programme venant de l'Afrique. C'est vrai que Black Panthers a fait rêver tout le monde. C'est pas tout le monde qui peut produire Black Panthers en Afrique et le vendre. Et c'était pas produit en Afrique, Black Panthers. Donc c'est pour ça que c'est vrai pour le moment, nos montants semblent peut-être dérisoires, mais ils correspondent à ce que notre marché peut absorber. Bon, ça va croître, hein. J'ai aucun doute là-dessus, ça va croître.
So Anna was saying, like, if you look at you know, production, you know, requirements, for example, in Africa, $1 to $1.5 million. Now she's in the project where with South African producers, where they were requesting to put like $2.5 million in the production, but this will imply that behind that you need to have a market to absorb it. So for now, the size of our market there, it doesn't really you know, absorb this level of you know, of investment. But she's confident that this will grow, because especially she's not sure that now if you put that amount of money in the production, like large platform like Netflix, etc., will actually take on the project and, you know, allows you to be published there. So I have a question for you, Anna, because I think, what do you think of like a platform like KOAFF, which is sort of growing, because I think which is inviting us today, in understanding that, you know, all the big platforms, Netflix, etc., they have like global, they have all the sectors, but do you think it's a good idea to have a platform that is only focusing on Africa? So, donc, ma question aujourd'hui, c'est comme on a sur KOAFF qui nous invite pour ce festival-là, de comprendre un peu si, qu'est-ce que vous pensez du fait que, bon, il y a les grandes plateformes qui existent, les Netflix, etc., qui prennent du content et qui sont, souvent, ça peut être difficile d'y accéder par rapport au niveau de production. Mais est-ce que c'est une bonne idée d'avoir une plateforme qui est spécialisé sur l'Afrique, comme KOAFF, par exemple.
Mais c'est une très bonne idée. C'est une très bonne idée parce que déjà, notre public est en train d'apprendre à consommer du contenu sur les plateformes. Donc, si vous l'emmenez sur une plateforme où il se retrouve avec 5 milliards de contenus, il n'a pas assez de connexion pour rechercher parce que vous voyez un peu comment on rame pour se connecter juste pour 1 heure de temps, pour regarder un film, comment on rame. Donc, on va rechercher dans une foultitude de contenus parce que forcément, nos contenus ne seront pas mis en avant dans un premier temps. Alors qu'une plateforme pareille, comme la vôtre, je pense que serait effectivement de grandir, de collecter un maximum de contenu et d'essayer d'être partenaire avec ces grosses plateformes à la Netflix ou autre chose. C'est là qu'on devient attractif. Mais tout seul, effectivement, on ne peut pas être attractif, mais c'est une très bonne chose de commencer. Il y a eu des exemples précédents. Il y a eu AfroStream qui a essayé. Orange aujourd'hui fait plus d'un. La TV d'Orange. Vous avez quelques-uns, les téléphonies MTN, mais je pense que ça doit être une vraie volonté affichée de développer ce secteur d'abord et puis ensuite de gagner de l'argent.
Okay. So what Anna was referring to is like, yes, it's a great idea to have a platform like that to allow, you know, the content here to be produced, because actually there are some constraints on the ground in terms of the internet connection. You know, it's like, you know, you have the broadband access, etc., which is an issue. So people generally are not going to spend a lot of time, you know, going out there on Netflix and, you know, using the internet connection. Even you see that the live stream we have some time. So it's good to have some content, for KOAFF to have some content, and then partner with large platforms as well, so to extend their reach. J'ai beaucoup de questions pour Anna. David was asking 2 questions. Asking how much money does France pump into West Africa production every year, and will Black Panther become a series? I mean, that was the 2 questions. Combien d'argent que la France en général aide par rapport au cinéma africain, Afrique de l'Ouest, et est-ce que
Okay. La France, par exemple, à travers l'organisation de la francophonie, le fonds de l'OIF, et aujourd'hui est devenu un fonds dans lequel l'ACP, Afrique Caraïbes Pacifique, met également de l'argent. Ben, vous avez des montants maximum de 100 000 euros, 150 000 euros. Alors, voilà, à peu près, vous êtes dans ces zones-là. Vous avez un projet, par exemple, qui fait 1,5 million de dollars. Ben, ils pourront vous donner que 2 000 ou 250 000 dollars maxi. Voilà, c'est dans ces zones que ça tourne. Et quand j'ai dit que des chaînes comme TV5 Monde, parce que de plus en plus, nous, en tout cas, on s'est arrangé pour ne plus que TV5 achète juste TV5 Afrique, des prix TV5 Afrique et des prix TV5 Monde. De plus en plus, on exige de passer en prix 5 Monde. On vous achète vous pouvez avoisiner les 5 000 euros, les 10 000 euros, ce qui n'est pas important quelquefois, quand on sait qu'on met entre 40 et 50 000 euros dans un épisode, dans l'heure. Voilà. Donc, voici un peu les montants dans lesquels, en Afrique francophone, comment on appelle, les subventions sont faites et les niveaux d'achat. Mais encore, eux, c'est intéressant parce que moi, je distribue dans 10 pays africains. Je suis obligée de trouver un sponsor à mettre sur la production pour la valoriser. Sinon, le Mali, le Burkina, le Gabon, le Bénin, tout ce monde a besoin de contenu, mais ils n'ont pas les moyens de la... Parce que ce n'est pas budgétisé, c'est des chaînes étatiques, ce n'est pas budgétisé. Donc, c'est quelquefois des montants tellement dérisoires que je n'ose même pas les dire ici, quoi, pour ne pas décourager David.
So Anna was saying, very interesting. Some people, I think, It's in French. It's not only in French, it's in English as well as some comments on Facebook. Yeah, so Anna was saying it's like France generally grant through the French corporation maximum is 100,000 euro. If you have a big project that is around like it's a couple of million, that would give you maximum $200,000, and the rest is gonna be from your own pocket, unfortunately. Yeah. I think Elvis having another question for Anna. Elvis.
Yeah, I have a question. Okay, I'm going to ask my question in French, then I might translate it in English for our audience. Okay, Anna, merci pour votre présentation et toutes les questions. Alors, dans votre question, dans votre réponse tout à l'heure, quand vous parliez de l'initiative de KOAFF, notre plateforme, et que vous la trouviez bien, et qu'il nous faudra grandir, il faudra que nous puissions acquérir du bon contenu, tout et tout, avant de pouvoir également signer des partenariats avec les grosses structures de streaming comme Netflix et autres. Alors, ma question, c'est de savoir, en termes de contenu africain, laquelle des options va vraiment intéresser les producteurs? Est-ce qu'ils sont prêts à vendre leur contenu ou ils seront prêts à les faire exploiter et à se faire payer en fonction du nombre de vues? Voilà. So I'm going to say it in English for David as well and for the rest of the audience. Earlier on, Anna was talking about how great our initiative of KOAFF is. So I thank her for that. And I would like to know, in terms of African content, which option would be best for the content producers? Are they willing to sell the content, or would they be also be interested in being in the pay-per stream? Because for such a small company like us, we actually emerging. So we can't have at the beginning quite a huge budget to just pay or buy some product. So we might go for the pay per stream. So that was my question to Anna. Thank you.
Okay. I see someone say, "Oh, it's in French." No, it's in French.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think it's Rose Zulu Loa. Don't worry. Rose, don't worry. Somebody translating English for everybody. Okay. Thank you.
Moi, ce que je fais, j'ai un catalogue d'environ 1200 heures. Quand les plateformes viennent me voir, un peu comme vous, que je leur dis, il y a des producteurs dont j'ai agi les contenus, qui ont mis de l'argent là-dedans et qui espèrent quand même avoir un petit retour sur investissement avant 10 ans. Donc, au moins, mettez un minimum garanti. On s'accorde, c'est un arbitrage, hein, on met un minimum garanti. Et puis ensuite, on fait du revenu sharing. Ce serait l'idéal en tout cas. Si on veut, parce que toutes vos initiatives, elles sont bien. Mais tant qu'on ne se mettra pas tout à construire cet écosystème-là, ben, on ne pourra pas avancer. Il faut qu'on aide à construire l'économie. We have to help producers. Tous ceux qui sont dans la création, mais il faut quelque part, c'est vrai qu'on cherche tous l'argent, mais le peu qu'on a, qu'on apprenne à le partager. Minimum garanti.
Il est 10 heures.
Quand on met le minimum garanti, après ça, maintenant, on peut dire au producteur, moi, je te ferai un état pour te reverser ton temps. C'est un peu l'option que je propose.
Yeah, I mean, so to Anna's response is like very interesting question around customer and the business model to right from Africa. She said since this is a nascent thing, we need to have created a sort of an ecosystem, basically, because she has like a huge catalog of 1,200 hours, which is available. And then for people that are there and they are waiting to have like a return for the next 10 years. So it's a long-term thing. So the idea is, when the platform comes and want to get the content, you say, okay, fine. Now you can get the content, but we need to at least have like a minimum guarantee, a minimum guarantee sort of contract between us, and after that we have a revenue sharing, so that it's easier. We have Marie as well, which has a question.
Yes, I have a question for Anna.
Yes.
English, and I will say in French, you didn't follow well. Concerning you and you work, you are the head of RPI distribution.
Yes.
How you work? You mentioned earlier that you go to the point of co-producing content, as long as you know that there is an audience for it. So what is your process? Do you have filmmakers that work with your company? Do you browse out there for filmmakers that match the kind of content that you have? Do you have a team of people that scout, for projects, or do filmmakers come to RTE and pitch, request appointments to projects, drop their, how do you go about connecting to the filmmaker place where you now did, whether you will just buy the content, co-produce it, whether you know what I mean? Like, how do filmmakers get into RTE? How do we, get you so that you can co-produce, so you can buy? Because filmmakers are struggling to get the foot in the door, producers of, how do we get, je sais ce que je veux dire, comment on fait pour se faire voir, comment on peut attirer ton attention, voilà, c'est ça, comment est-ce que...
J'ai compris.
Right.
J'ai compris. Et donc, nous, en fait, on a procédé par des appels à projets. À certains moments, il y a 2-3 ans, on avait fait des appels à projets.
Okay.
Ensuite, on organise des événements spéciaux. Malheureusement, en 2020, on n'a pas pu le faire, mais en 2019, on l'a fait et le Nigeria a été invité d'honneur. On a fait également une large diffusion pour voir comment mettre des producteurs ensemble pour qu'ils puissent travailler sur des projets qu'on aiderait sur le financement. Ça a été notre chose aussi. Mais le plus souvent, pour nous contacter, on est encore à la direction, c'est à la direction générale de la RTI, en présenté, en nous disant ce que vous voulez, si c'est distribuer votre contenu ou coproduire. Et à partir du moment où le projet nous est impliqué, on rentre en contact avec vous. Mais c'est un peu comme ça que nous fonctionnons. C'est vrai que pour le moment, on est en train de s'outiller pour le principe d'appel à projet panafricain ou même international, qui fasse qu'on soit en mesure de faire travailler un maximum de producteurs. Mais pour ça aussi, il faut les moyens. Et bon, la chaîne nationale, c'est vrai qu'elle essaie de mettre les moyens.
Oh,
we lost Anna.
we lost Anna. Yeah, she was talking about, and she was the connection was not was a bit moving. So I mean, what Anna was talking about, I think the question was around how do you get to Anna? How do you get to have your movie movie sort of produced? How do the producers get the foot in the door? And that was the question. And then I was mentioned is like, look, we have other initiative. For example, last year we did this huge initiative where we invited other countries, and Nigeria was actually the country of honor invited to make sure we sort of mix producers and filmmakers, etc., all together. But I mean, they'll probably think about this initiative again. But in the reality, is like if you have a project, you can still send it to RTE. They will look into it, and if it's interesting for them, they will definitely contact you and looking on to collaborate together.
Que je peux poser une question à David?
Oui.
Par rapport à sa question, qu'est-ce qu'il laisse? Je veux dire, quand il décide de... Pardon, je vais répondre d'abord à sa occupation. Il avait demandé si Black Panthers peut devenir une série. C'est une très bonne idée. C'est une très bonne idée parce qu'il n'y a pas beaucoup de gens qui l'ont vu ici. Et comme c'est aspirationnel pour des Africains, ça va être sur les chaînes de télévision en Afrique. C'est quelque chose qui peut marcher même en Europe, hein. Et même ailleurs, pardon, pas qu'en Europe, mais à travers le monde. Ça peut fonctionner. Ça, je reprends un peu à la question de David que j'avais oubliée. Mais pour savoir aussi, Arnaud, vous allez leur traduire les deux. Quand il a demandé les montants qu'on investissait, à quel niveau les voyait-il, lui?
So David, and I also respond to your question on Black Panther to say it's definitely a great idea to have it as a series. I think regarding how aspirational it was, but certainly being in Second Africa, with all the drama with Cedric that we lost. So I mean, all this together is gonna be something interesting. And she also has a question for you. So when you were asking about the amount of money that was invested in the business, what type of amount do you have in mind, or what was your thinking behind this question? What was your perception and what was your thinking? I think we lost the sons.
Have his microphone.
I cannot hear you, David.
Are you muted, David?
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first, I want to say welcome to everybody that's joined us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. This has really turned into be quite interesting. The answer to Anna's question, I don't really have. Well, I have lots of projects in various stages of development, of course, but I don't have anything. I don't have a dollar amount in mind. I just wanted to add. Especially we were talking about streaming and internet speed. I'm actually producing a couple of short series right now. My first episode was like 4 minutes, and my next episode will probably be like 7 or 8 minutes. And I'm not looking for a 90-minute or a 60-minute episode. I just want to make a series, my own series, and I'm making it, literally shooting it in my cottage with amateur actors and crew in my village. And it's just fun for me as a showrunner to create a show and write scripts and shoot and cut and do all the things I love as a filmmaker. And you know what? I can upload it onto Amazon Prime. I can put it on YouTube. I can put it on KOAFF. There's lots of places to put it, but I think I just want to encourage those filmmakers out there. And I think Marie is right on. Like feature films are passé. It's all about series right now. So create a series and just make small episodes. You don't have to make a 30-minute episode, a 10-minute episode. And then people that are buying data and streaming on their phone, like it's easily accessed. Everybody can enjoy it. They're going to watch one 5-minute episode at a time. It's perfectly all right. I mean, I think it's a great way to start.
Yeah. I will agree with you, David. So, Arnaud, can you translate it for Anna, please?
Yes.
I think what David was saying, ce que David disait en fait, c'était que c'était un message un peu à tous les producteurs pour dire que maintenant la tendance serait peut-être de faire des films un peu plus petits, genre, parce que lui en ce moment il produit des films de 3, 4, 7 minutes. Donc c'est plus facile, que les gens peuvent regarder facilement sur leur téléphone au lieu de faire des choses un peu plus longues. Donc ça fait que c'est un peu plus adapté en ce moment. Yeah. I hope David, there's a connection here with Anna, so probably you should send out some of your materials.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, happy to.
Donc, il y avait une autre question.
Non, c'était juste.
Voilà, donc pour dire que pour reparler encore de nos différents niveaux d'intervention. Et puis, comme je dis, pour répondre clarifier, il faut nous écrire. Si on trouve le projet assez intéressant, même si on n'a pas assez de moyens, peut-être qu'on peut essayer de voir d'autres coproducteurs qui sont intéressés. C'est un peu ça notre rôle aussi. Hein. C'est un peu ça notre rôle. Mais il faut aussi que les producteurs, de plus en plus, aillent chercher, comprendre la tendance de le diffuseur. Qu'est-ce que le diffuseur veut? Participer au marché sur lesquels on parle de notre métier. Les diffuseurs sont les marchés où on vend et on achète du contenu. Apprendre à participer à ce type de marché, tel que si c'est possible le MIP, si c'est possible au FESPACO, comme on appelle, participer au FESPACO, si c'est possible le DISCOP, ce qui se passe un peu en Afrique. Maintenant, effectivement, de l'autre côté de l'Atlantique, il y a d'autres marchés qu'ils peuvent rejoindre pour comprendre les tendances que les gens recherchent et puis que surtout ce qui fonctionne. Mais ce que nous, on a fait comme un peu pour conclure l'intervention, on s'est rendu compte que les plateformes étaient en train de monter en puissance au niveau demande. C'est vrai que nous produisons en premier pour les chaînes de télévision. On s'est rendu compte que les plateformes devenaient, en tant que distributeurs, devenaient nos plus grands clients, nos plus gros clients, qui venaient même faire de l'acquisition chez nous parce qu'ils avaient l'assurance de le rentabiliser selon le marché sur lequel ils sont. C'est pour ça que je dis que votre initiative au niveau de votre plateforme, Stream, est une bonne initiative. Maintenant, il faut effectivement vous donner les moyens de pouvoir avoir le seuil critique suffisant qui permette que ce soit une affaire rentable pour ceux qui y travaillent également, parce que c'est ça aussi l'intérêt. Parce que derrière une plateforme, il y a toute une machine de promotion, de vente et tout qui fasse qu'il faut pouvoir avoir. Il ne faut pas que l'acheteur vienne et au bout de 5 semaines, il est découragé parce qu'il a fait le tour de votre catalogue. Donc, voilà. Et peut-être regarder aussi ce qui se fait du côté de Iroko, qui le fait aussi déjà. Iroko TV, il y a quelques plateformes qui sont déjà installées, mais c'est effectivement pouvoir mettre l'accent sur le volume, sur la qualité, et puis surtout identifier les bons programmes.
Yeah. So I think so. So I was mentioning that in the last talk, around the fact that look, it's important. It's good to produce some content, but you have to come on the ground and really feel it and feel, in all the different countries, what is exactly where people are eating at in terms of the need. And there's an interesting trend which is coming up is now. In the past, it was more like the channel, the YouTube channel asking for content, but now more and more the platform are dictating, the demands are making like a push for the demand. So because they are confident that they will generate return on this demand on this product. So yeah, so it's also important when you have a platform like KOAFF to be able to manage like the reach of critical minimum like rentability level to make sure that you can attract good quality, which is relevant, and then it will help size the business. I think from my perspective, I don't think we have other questions. Yes, we have final question from Marie, and we'll probably wrap it up. Marie.
Okay. It's also about distribution. Avec l'avènement des comment je peux dire ça, des distribution networks ou bien on les appelle les PTV channels. On a maintenant par exemple sur Bouquet la RPI qui est avec la chaîne locale Mali, avec chaîne Burkina. Aujourd'hui, les chaînes locales ont cette plateforme qui permet de transcender les barrières ou les frontières du pays. Ça veut dire qu'aujourd'hui, personne qui aurait le fiche de canal, par exemple, pourrait avoir accès à la RTI, que ce soit en France, que ce soit au Sénégal, que ce soit au Ghana. Donc, ça permet à pays de devenir de facto par exemple, une chaîne internationale, c'est-à-dire que c'est peut-être des paramètres locaux, nationaux, mais en fait qui ont une exposition, exposure, on mélange les deux, qui est internationale aujourd'hui. Aujourd'hui, on est en train de parler à Anna Bello, qui est Head Ocean à la RTI, mais qui permet à la RTI en fait d'avoir en fait une portée qui va au-delà de la Côte d'Ivoire. Quels sont, selon Anna, pour un filmmaker, moi je suis ivoirienne, mais je suis basée au Ghana. Donc je travaille au Ghana et j'aimerais produire du contenu, donc du coup bilingue, ce serait la logique d'avoir du contenu francophone ou anglophone, mais doublé systématiquement en français ou en anglais, selon, pour pouvoir avoir une étendue, pouvoir avoir accès. Mais souvent, ça coûte de l'argent aux cinéastes de également faire le doublage. Alors qu'on ne sait même pas en fait où on va vendre, on ne connaît pas la portée, on ne sait pas où on va vendre. Quels sont les conseils, quelles sont les qualités que vous avez? Est-ce que ce serait bon pour le séduire et en même temps de faire pouvoir se donner plus de chances, ou alors est-ce que des distribution networks comme celui de la RTI seraient prêts à payer pour de dubbing? Je ne sais pas si je me fais comprendre. Ou est-ce que ça fait partie des négociations qui se font? Quelles sont, je veux juste avoir une idée, comme vous avez cette expérience, qu'est-ce que vous avez vu se faire? Parce que vous achetez du contenu qui n'est plus forcément juste pour la Côte d'Ivoire. Vous achetez du contenu qui provient sûrement du Ghana, du Nigeria, comme vous l'avez mentionné, mais sûrement du Sénégal. Alors, quelle est la réalité pour un cinéaste? Est-ce qu'il vient vous, qu'il a déjà son contenu? Il serait qu'il est déjà doublé à ses propres frais, ou alors est-ce que vous, maintenant, lorsque vous manifestez l'intérêt, vous dites, on achète, comme nous-mêmes, on va faire le dubbing parce que vous pouvez le vendre ou le présenter sur une plateforme qui dépasse la Côte d'Ivoire. Je ne sais pas comment voilà.
Non, j'ai compris. Mais si vous pouvez traduire peut-être pour ceux qui écoutent, et puis je vais vous...
Oui, I can say it in English. So David, my question was, as a filmmaker, you know, I'm from the Côte d'Ivoire, so I speak French, but I'm in Ghana, so I work in English, right? Okay, so as a filmmaker, I have that opportunity to be able to produce content that can be in both languages because I have that advantage. Okay, now I'm talking to Anna Bello, who's the head of distribution in RTI, and because now of those paid TV channels, okay, a TV that was normally a local TV like RTI was supposed to be handling channels that would be from Côte d'Ivoire. But now, because we have moved to the satellite system, channels that were supposed to be local have that French where they can be seen or watched in many countries. You know, anyone now watch RTI from France, from Nigeria, from Ghana. Okay, and so automatically, once RTI division acquires content, that content is going to be seen in countries that speak both French or all right. As head of distribution, when they are now gathering or purchasing, acquiring content, do they ask for dubbed content? Do they advise that the producer their content already in French or in English because they know that now they can, you know, to search a wider, you know, range of countries so that it can be. Do they ask for the producer to already have the content dubbed? Do they offer to dub it if they do find it interesting enough? Is it a negotiation that takes place? You know, like how does it usually go? Based on her experience, what has she seen? So that we can know, you know, how to go about it, you know, because it's an extra cost for the producer, right? Dubbing incurs, you know, an extra cost, and most of the time we don't want to do it because we don't even know if we're going to sell, you know. So, what are her observations? Obviously, it's true. Okay, so that's my question.
Yeah.
Ok. Je vais rassurer Marie-Paul. On est dans cette dynamique-là. Aujourd'hui, quand on acquiert du contenu qui est quelquefois tourné en anglais, qu'on double en français et qu'on dit ensuite. Pareil, dans l'autre sens, on a du contenu qui peut intéresser, si on a du contenu qui peut intéresser un marché anglophone, on n'hésite pas. Par exemple, la célèbre série Ma Famille, aujourd'hui, on l'a en anglais. S'il y a des diffuseurs qui sont intéressés, on la leur vend en anglais également. Parce qu'effectivement, on est distributeur et on n'aimerait pas limiter notre marché juste au marché francophone. On veut l'étendre également à ce marché anglophone là, qui est très dynamique et qui pour nous peut être aussi peut-être une source de revenus additionnels. Donc, on investit. La preuve, on l'a fait avec ZTV, qui a tourné une série qui s'appelle 17 Measures, je pense, qui est passée au Nigeria et au Ghana, et au Kenya également, qui a été tournée au Ghana, au Nigeria et au Kenya. Ben, on a acquis les droits de distribution de cette série. On est en train de la doubler en français pour pouvoir la diffuser sur le territoire francophone. Donc, on n'est pas du tout fermé. Au contraire, on est plus dans cette démarche. Je vous ai dit qu'on est sur un projet avec l'Afrique du Sud, sur laquelle déjà on est CBC qui vient comme préacheteur. Forcément, il faudra les deux versions. Et le marché, c'est de plus en plus ça. Hein. On ne reste pas juste dans une langue pour conquérir un marché. Et on sait que le marché anglophone est dynamique, donc nous, on est également, on se tourne vers ce marché.
Yeah, so another thing around the question is how do you proceed in terms of when you have some content in French or in English? Do you like pay for the translation, etc.? And then so another thing is really depend on the project. Now, RT, they're looking a lot of some of this project where if they think it's gonna be interesting, they can invest themselves to make the translation. So you give the example of a project now they're doing in South Africa with SABC and this project will have to be translated. So it's something that we're definitely open to do, and to make sure that the movies that are in Francophone Africa are also reaching the other English part of Africa, and vice versa. Yes, I don't think we have any further question, and I will end up probably to you, Hervé, and give our hosts probably the final word.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Arnaud. Thank you so much. I would like to thank everybody. Thank you, David. That was incredible. Thank you, Anna. Anna. You have so many questions. you are the star of the show today, actually. Thank you for all the questions. We will definitely keep in touch. Thank you, Marie Patterson. Also, thank you, Gabriel, the man behind this team.
Yes.
People cannot see him, but that is all he's doing. And I would like to thank also the people out there who have been watching us on a live stream. We had incredible responses from the public, which is actually quite good. Keep on supporting us, and the festival is still going on. It will end on the 20th of December. Guys, don't hesitate to go on KOAFF.com, sign up or sign in if you have already an account. Watch all the movies for free. We have 30 of them right now for free. Share the news. Don't forget to rate all the movies, and because they will have an award at the end of the festival. So everything will be based on your views, on the reviews, on the rating and stuff. So I would like to thank everybody. Thank you once again, and keep on supporting us. Thank you.
Thank you, Hervé.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.